Welcome back to another Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Vanilla Valley version 3. This map is one of the maps that was submitted to the Farming Simulator 17 mod contest in the Best Maps category. So this map has got quite a long description. I will read you just a few excerpts of it on the mod hub. It says, I welcome you to Vanilla Valley version 3 for Farming Simulator 17. Countless new features, fruits, and game mechanics are waiting for you to discover on this map. This map is an attempt at recreating everything as accurately as possible in order to get one a step closer to a completely realistic experience. Vanilla Valley version 3 comes with support for several popular mods, Chop Straw and Farming Tablet, which is a personal recommendation of mine. In addition, you can install the shader mod, which is based on the well-known reshade shaders. This will make the map look even more realistic. So just a few highlights. This is a mountainous terrain with gentle areas, countless new textures which he personally drew, photographed, and edited, new plants, trees, bushes, and details. There are 25 scripts on the map, one large village, 2 farms. We have additional crop types of rye, oat, spelt, kale, and red cabbage. Salad, onions, and even more. We have 17 new foliage layers, 11 new texture layers, 14 cell stations, and the list just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. He does say that you will need a fairly decent system to run this with decent frame rates. So let's go ahead and jump on in and see what all this hubbub is about. So we're going to pick up our gator, load up our log, there we see several fabric scripts loading up. Looks like we had several animated objects loading. We did have one issue with a windrow unloading shader, but it looks like we can expect to find an animated dog, farmer, cows, sheeps, and horses, as well as fabric scripts for all kinds of things. So we won't read them all, but there's a whole bunch. So there's a lot going on this map. So here we are, and just from the outset, those of you that are familiar with old streams may realize that this is an exact reproduction of the old streams farm. The mod author does give credit to the Black Sheep modding for this, and he acknowledges that he's basically taken the old streams farm and plopped it down right here because he sees this as basically a perfect layout for the farm. So everything that is related to old streams is going to be here. So we've got our slurry here. This is our cow area. We have our water trough. You can bring your straw into here and your feeding trough. This is where your manure will pile up. You've got your BGA bunker here. Up the hill here we have another BGA bunker. And there we have our building that we have up on the upper level of Old Streams. So if you know Old Streams, you know this building quite well. If there was a milk trigger, that would be placed here because that's where the milk area is. So Shane in chat is asking how you get the log to come up. You have to enable debug mode or developer mode, and you do that in I believe it's the game XML file. This is where you silo tip in, and your silo tip out is right there. This is a liquid fertilizer cell point. Looks like we start with some fertilizer pallets. So once you enable debug mode, you'll basically allow the or developer mode. Then you just hit the little tilde key, and the log will come up. You can do other kinds of cool things with it. So this is our sheep area, and our pig area is around the back. So let's take a look at the map. So we have basically this is Google Earth photo. So as you can see, he has gone in to basically recreate all of the fields as they lay out all of the roads as they actually lay out as best he can. We have our standard crops plus oat, rye, onion, spelt, red cabbage, regular cabbage, lettuce, carrots, and hops. So there's a lot going on. As far as fields we own fields 1, 2, 3, 54 way over here, 36 way down here, and I believe that is about it. We have 5 main sell points and a whole lot of extra sell points on this map, and you'll see by the size of this scroll bar there is a lot going on here. We've got oat, rye, hops, onions, carrots, spelt, cabbage, red cabbage, lettuce or whatever that is, and we got seed and fertilizer, we got bread, cake, cherries. I don't know what that is. Not really sure what this is. Then we have cardboard, we have pallets, we have different colors of something, compost, tomatoes, oil, beer, something else, homogenized milk, and that might be flour. So there is a way crazy amount going on. We're not going to be able to get all this, I guarantee you, because it's just, we'd probably be 3 hours trying to figure this whole map out. So we've got a short list of equipment. Given the kinds of stuff going on this map, our equipment is pretty short. We do have 2 things that are fairly high in operating hours, so maintenance is going to be fairly high on those. Nothing was leased, so let's go ahead and take out a loan. Alrighty, and we have all 3 animals on this map. And as a update for those that just watched the Italian farm, our buddy FS Bushcraft said that the buy point for wool was, interestingly enough, over at the Sawmill. Now hopefully he wasn't seeing where the Sawmill, the board pallet factory, takes wool as a fuel type, but you may want to check the Sawmill for buying wool. So we have no animals, nothing in the various troughs on that, and we have a silo capacity of 100,000 liters. Alright, so let's take, well, we don't really need to take too much of a look around the farm. We pretty much know how this farm works if you've played old streams. So there's our buy point, there's our water point for our sheep, and our wool will spawn right here. Hopefully this pitchfork isn't in the way. Let's run over here to our cows. So here's our buy point for our cattle. And we have cows. So this is a feeding area, so you can put grass in here to feed your cows. You can see some of these custom trees and the custom grass. Here we have some seed pallets. free running chickens. And here we have our pig area. So no real big surprises with our animals on the main farm. And for our pigs, we have our feed trough here. Our water actually is in this tank here, and you see that it's connected with this blue hose that runs over and connects to these little water dishes. Our manure will spawn right here. And our slurry is right there. So that's the animal zones. Like I said, it's just Old Streams Farm, just transplanted into Vanilla Valley. So let's take a look at the shop. Where is the shop? Shop's way up here, so let's go ahead and see if we can buy our gator. That's our shop. Let's see if we can find the gator. Alright, let's click through. There's a faster way to do this, but I don't care. Oh, you're right down there by the football field or soccer field. What are you doing down there? All right, let's hit reset. Are you still down there? So our reset point is right there. Interesting. Interesting indeed. All right. So this appears to be the shop, even though the shop icon was up at the other area. Makes me want to maybe jump up there and see if that's also a shop. So I like the old antique things up there on the awning. That's pretty nice. So here we have our sell point, customizing point for the shop. Okay, so Bushcraft just updated and said that the wool sell point is down by the animal farm. Oh my goodness, gosh. Oh, somebody did something awful here. Oh my goodness. I guess he was not happy with his service and drove his truck into the store. Okay. So as I was saying, the wool buy point was down on the other map by the animal area, right beside where those two sell points were beside each other. Let's go up here and check out the shop. Figure out why on earth this looks like we've just got the wrong icon here, because this is clearly an animal buy area. So we have multiple animal areas. No. Alright, so we've got an issue on this map with icons, it appears. What about this one? So this is also, so we got multiple animal buy points, or you could see it as maybe animal sell points. Let's see what this one is. Alright, it's kind of a slaughterhouse animal buy point. Alright, so let's just jump back here. And let's take a look at the map and get a plan of action. Oh, let's go south and work our way counterclockwise, I guess. Alrighty. We'll check out our soccer field while we're here. Or for you non-Americans, football. That's not the right way. Alrighty. So it looks like getting out of the vehicle, the equipment buy shop is pretty tight. So that's where one of the animal sell points was. I would call them sell points more or less than buy points. So this map initially does not look like it's very well suited for large equipment, simply by the tightness of the roads, or narrow roads. I wanted to see if this also came back around to the shop, and it does. So this is a little bit bigger of an exit for the shop, but still you've got to navigate some pretty tight roads to get out of this area. Fair bit of pedestrian traffic. Alright. So we've got our first sell point maybe right here. Oh, there's our animated horses. So we got horses running around the field. So we have our first buy point right here. Looks like we have an egg buy point. Right here. We have ice in the house. Howdy, Icelandic farmer. How you doing? We're checking out Vanilla Valley version 3. So we've got a train. I wonder if we have a train on this map. Let's just tab around and find out. No train. So something else to note is the dirt texture is custom on this map. This is one of the custom dirt textures. I'm not too keen on it myself, but while we're looking, we've got no mission available currently. 2 hectares, $164,000. So the price is about properly in line. Let's jump out of cab and drive a little bit. Alright, so this road basically is ended, but we're just going to cut through. Can we weave through these? Just going to cheat and get over here. So here we have a buy point. We have 2 buy points, ATR. So ATR tanks, tank something. Will buy, what does he buy? You don't buy anything, but you're a point. And what's the other one? Pallet something. So what do you buy? You buy wool and some of those things. So basically you buy, I guess, palleted products. So this area will buy pallets. Possibly there. Possibly grain here. Looks like you can maybe sell your hay here. Let's take a look. Yep, there's a trigger in there. So you could come in here and buy or sell your hay and straw and grass. Let's see, what is this? Liquid, flammable. We're not getting any help information from this. So I'm not really sure what goes there. There's a trigger for something, but it's not marked on the, well, maybe, I don't know. There's too much going on down here to really figure out what's going on. Alright, so that's the grain, that's the pallet. Nothing's marked across the street. Don't know what is there. Again, it's... you'd have to almost dissect that with the editor to figure out what's going on. Oh, whoa! That was close. So apparently we have an animated train. Right here we have a factory of some sort. See if we can find an informational screen. Alright, it's not there. We have a floating sign. We have a tip point, but I'm not seeing an informational screen anywhere. To tell us what those conveyors are for. So I don't know how you're supposed to know what goes in there. So wood chips. So that one tip that we saw back here is for wood chips. I don't know what that is. There's no information board. There's nothing to tell us what's going on there. But we know this tip point is wood chips. And this point back here is sugar beets. We know that. But there's no real information as to what those conveyors are. Those are like pallet conveyors. There goes our train again. So these are typically pallet conveyors that kind of spawn pallets and move pallets around. That's what that little green thing is, but not really sure. Alright. So the consensus is, chat, that no one's really feeling this map. No one's feeling the love on this map, and I have to say I'm not really feeling much love on the map either, but I'll do my best to explore it and explain what's going on here. So that might be Woodchips. It's definitely a map that I wouldn't play. But most of it's because there's so much going on, and I don't think it seems a bit confusing. Alright, let's see. We'll just drive over here. Where are we even at? Oh, there we are. Okay, so Steve thinks that sugar pallets will spawn there after we put in sugar beets. So our bunker BGA is right here. So here's our BGA. What's up here? Is this just storage? So this is acting like a silo. I've seen this used before on other maps as a silo system. Let's see if we have a tip out. We do have a tip out trigger. So this is possibly a satellite silo. We have storage here. Alright, so here's our typical bunker. We have a chaff trigger on that one. A chaff trigger on this one. So these are interesting. These raise up and down. Okay. So you could store things on here. I've seen people store headers on here. I've seen people store pallets on here. I think not really sure why that one's not moving. At any rate. Oh, okay. I think that switch moved. Yep. It's a little key that rotates to open and close that. So I'm not going to shut it. Alright. So our digestate is there, and our Silo King is right here. So that's the BGA. Oh, it looks like we got fuel in there. Alright, we'll head down here and check out what's down this way. You see more of those custom trees. So in chat they're asking if I can show how to get the cherries. I will if I can figure it out. I've spent maybe 30 minutes driving around checking this map out, and you could probably spend 3 hours and still not really know what's going on. So I will try, if we come across it, to figure it out. Here we have, it looks like a buy point for slurry. Manure. And it looks like we've got a water fill point. I wouldn't think that would be a water buy point. So this is kind of like a water treatment plant or a waste processing facility. Got, I guess, custom texture here on our concrete. We've got either cracks or stains. Alright, let's see here. This map does have multiple BGAs. So let's head on back up the road and see if we can't get up here to the BGA that's up by field 50. So I was just looking over there at the edge of the map. That's done fairly well, I think. It's blending really well. It's hard to tell where the map necessarily ends and the background begins. When we turn around here and go up this way, we should be, as we go closer to the BGA, we'll be getting closer to the edge of the map. We might be able to see a distinction then. Oh, I guess I was speeding. So there are speed cameras on the map. Oh, we have a... Alright. Stop. Okay. So that does not have collisions. We can just drive through that all day long. That is correct. We have one more after this, and then we will be done. There are some maps that I am not going to do. They have some errors associated with them, and I don't want to bring them into the channel, simply because I don't want the game to crash halfway through my my video. So it looks like this may be a biofuel buy point or possibly a biofuel sell point. We do have a fuel icon here. That door opens and closes by itself. So this looks like it's fuel storage. Either we need fuel to make something run. Crude oil. So I guess we put oil in and we get fuel out. And we get compost. Or how about this? How about we start from this side? So we put canola, sunflowers, or soybeans in here, and apparently we get oil, fuel, and what else was we getting out of this? Compost out. So this is kind of a biofuel plant. So that's what this area is. And then we can sell oil, we can sell fuel, and I'm sure we can do something with the compost. Or we'll need compost at some kind of greenhouse. Whoa. Alright, so here we've got a Compost Master. We will learn from our lesson and verify that this truly makes compost. It does indeed make compost, but apparently this one does not take fuel. This just says waste and compost. So I'm going to leave the stream up, but I got to take a real quick break. I'll be right back in about 2 minutes. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that little distraction. So let's see what goes in this greenhouse. So it's probably on the other side. Looks like it is. So this greenhouse. Oh, that's seed, fuel, liquid fertilizer, and water. And we get tomatoes and compost. Really? We get compost out of this? Okay. So somewhere around here there must be a seed processing facility. There we have our liquid fertilizer and water fill points. So that explains how we get, this looks like wood chips. So that explains how we get tomatoes. Tomatoes better be worth a whole lot to have to drive all the way up here just to get tomatoes. get a little aerial going around, see if we can manage to drive this way. Alright, what do we have here? So, I don't know if that's beer or if that's something. That would kind of imply that this is a brewery. It's odd that it would be that. Unless you put beer in there and you get pallets somewhere else of cases and barrels. We'll have to look. Oh, what's this? That's just a door. That's not the informational screen. So that's how much we have stored. I have a floating sign. What's in here? We got a lot of stuff going on here, but so far we haven't seen us. Does this move? Here we go. Alright, so we take empty pallets, hops, wheat, and water, and we get beer. Beer stuff. Oh, that one's floating. Alright, so that's what we get out of here. So we have hops somewhere, we have pallets we need to make from somewhere. Let's keep making our way around. Oh, looks like this is a custom corn texture. So this just looks like it's a just decoration. I don't think there's anything here. Well, there is a trigger there. I assume that might be a water fill point. This is like the water treatment plant on Goldcrest Valley. So here we have, no, that's not, wait, what's this? So here we have a grove of trees. Looks like they may have apples or something growing on them. So let's go up here and see what we got going on. That's a rolling hill field there. Oh, I do not know what these say. Do like that animation though. No idea what those say. Anybody in chat have a clue what those say? Oh, that opens by itself. Compost and water makes that. Is that grapes? And compost and water makes cherries. So I assume that those are cherries. So that might be how you get your cherries. Compost and water. So I guess this is where we put our compost for cherries. And this is where we put our compost for, I guess, grapes. Andy's saying those are plums. Okay. This is where we put our water in for plums. And that's where we put our water in for cherries, maybe. And that doesn't help us. Are these all empty? No one's going to tell us. Cherries. Maybe cherries comes out of that pipe. And maybe plums comes out of... They really do look like grapes. And the other product comes out of that pipe. So that's the best I can figure out. Yep. Andy in chat is saying that that is plums. So the other one must be cherries. So this is a heck of a field. Pretty steep too. Alright, so we're going to drive through this tunnel. Oh, we got a nice Hilltop Lake here. It's a little muddy. Nice waterfalls. This isn't too bad of a scene. Whoa. Don't want to drive off into that. All right. So all of these gates open out. We're going to need to remember that. We got some floating tire tracks. Do y'all see those? See that? Alright, wonder what we have up here. The ground is doing a vibration. Okay. So fuel, and we make lime. So we put fuel in here and we get lime out over there. Okay. I don't know if we simply sell lime or if we need it for some other process. Oh, we have something else here. So lime we turn into fertilizer. So there you go. So there's where we get solid fertilizer. We put our lime into there and we get our fertilizer out of there. Anything else going on over here? Does that do anything? Nope. Alright. So this is just a water fill point, it appears. It's like we're building something, some type of industry. And here's, I guess, red cabbage. So that brings up another interesting point, is how do we harvest this stuff? Okay, so let's look at our starting equipment, because I looked at this earlier. So we have our harvester here, which supposedly will harvest red cabbage, but our header here doesn't do red cabbage. So you may say, oh, well, you just need the other header, right? Well, let's look at that. So let's look at the corn header. The corn header still doesn't take red cabbage. So how do you harvest red cabbage? Okay, well, maybe you use this, right? Maybe use the forage harvester. Well, let's look at the headers. No, no, no. Oh, here we go. Red cabbage, okay. So we're going to use our forage harvester to harvest red cabbage, carrots, lettuce, some of these other crops. Not really feeling that from a level of realism, unless you're in harvesting red cabbage, you're basically ripping it to shreds. Alright, so that is the edge of the map. Let's turn around. Are these cows animated? Yes, they are. So here we have some animated cows. Looks like we have a dairy here. So here's the dairy that everyone was looking for. And it appears that we will get cases of milk out of here. Wonder if this is where we dump our milk. So there's a question in chat as to if the beet or potato harvesters work for cabbage, and they do not. I'll show you here in a moment. Here's our information screen. Well, it's supposed to be our information screen, but F1's not doing anything. We have another one up here. So milk, and we get homogenized milk, basically lifelong milk. So I guess we dump our milk into here, and we get milk over there. So let's look at, wrong one. Let's look at our potato harvester. Just does potato, as does this one. And our beet harvester just does beets. Beets. Beets, beets, beets. And the Homer only picks up beets also. So I don't really know how a forage harvester is going to do carrots, since carrots are a root crop. But at any rate, it's like when we see a map that has cotton and you use a regular harvester to do cotton. That's not going to work. So let's see what this cell point takes. This particular cell point takes onions, maybe. That's what that is, maybe. And here's where we can sell some more animals. So that is the edge of the map. So we'll go back this way. And we'll continue making our way around. Guess we didn't see that last time because we kind of took a different road up. So we got a muddy river running next to us. There we have our animated farmer. Another gate that opens right into us. That is annoying. So let's see what this sell point does. So this sell point takes most of our standard crops. And then we have seed and fertilizer fill points. Alright. So all this time, oh no, we've already bought our animals. I was like, all this time and we still haven't gotten to our animals. Alright, so there's Old Streams Farm. It looks a bit out of place, I have to say. So this appears to be our sawmill. Let's check this crane out. Whoa. Okay. That was not cool. Alright, so we are not going to check out that crane. Something very, very odd happened. Okay. Well, that was really weird. Oh, that is pretty weird. I think we went into the land of wacky. So logs and fuel makes board wood. Okay, so logs go in here. Where does our fuel go? I guess it goes in here. And we get board pallets. Alright. And I think that's all we got going on here. Oh, what's this? No, that's the same place we were at. Alright. What is this? No idea. Alright, we're going to call this a sawmill. We will not play our crane game because that does pretty weird things. Oh, what is this? Looks like a wood chip sell point. Not really sure what that does. Nothing. Alright. Let's move on. Oh. Got quite the hill there. Back up. Let's see what's down there. We got another train. Good thing I didn't go that way. We probably got smashed by a train. Oh, so this is where we bought our animals. Earlier, we got some animated sheep here. Can we buy? Nope, nope, nope. We're not buying bales. We're just doing animal buys here. We might buy something here. Alright, that may be a water fill point since the river is so close. I guess you buy water by the pound since there's scales going in and out. Alright, let's go this way. The end is near, everybody. The end is near. I don't know how many people are actually feeling the love of this map. Alright. Here we are into town. So this place looks fairly busy. This is where we put our homogenized milk. And it looks like we're going to get some products out of that. So water and flour will make bread. And cherries and homogenized milk and water and flour will make cakes. So we haven't seen where yet to make flour. Maybe we'll be lucky and we'll find some place here to make flour. Water for our cake and water for our whatever else that thing was going to make. I forget already. Oh, we've got trash just been left out. Got a pack of cigarettes. Awful, awful mess. All right. Let's see here. There must be a road somewhere. Oh, we got a security guard. He didn't seem to be too happy. So, where are we at? So this particular sell point takes all our grain. Let's see if there's anything else going on here. The same trash. People don't clean up after themselves. Looks like we sell pallets there. And there we have a farmer just walking around. Looks like a custom dirt texture to the side of that cliff there, the edge. There goes our train again. Looks like we have a wool pallet sell point up here. That gate does not open. Whoa. We got the fence extending into the entryway. Alright, so we did buy wool pallets and pallets. We tip in something. This is just a standard sell point. Pallets. You'd think this might make the flour. I'm not seeing it. So this takes potatoes and sugar beets and a bunch of other stuff. Alright, let's see. Alright, we got one, two more sell points, and then I'm just gonna call it, because there's a lot going on this map and it's a bit too much. It's a bit too much. It's in the wrong language for me. It's a bit too much. We got a fence in the way. I'll probably get a speeding ticket through here. way. Oh. Alright, there's our fuel point, and this is probably a fuel cell point. That's probably what this turns out to be. Again, we'll have to check. This really makes me long for a map that has things that are labeled. There's nothing there for what this said it was. That's that. It's empty. Well, I'm thinking it's for fuel because this is a gas station. And here's our last sell point that we are going to bother with. Looks like they take palleted products there. Pallets. Park our gator here, and eggs. So that, guys, is Vanilla Valley version 3. There's a lot going on this map. There's plenty enough to keep you busy for a very long time. I say you could probably do seasons with a 12-month or 12-day season and still have way too much to do and not enough time to do it. So we're going to take a quick break, probably another 5-10 minutes. I had a phone call come in while we were on this map, and I will need to do a return on, and then we will be back for the last map of this series. The last map is Windbach, and I have already taken a look at this map, and it is pretty nice. It's pretty nice to look at. It's got lots of forestry areas. It's got lots of fields. Looks like it's got 102 fields and several forestry areas, but it is not excessive. I almost say that this map, Vanilla Valley, is maybe a bit excessive with what it's trying to accomplish. So, give me a few minutes and we'll be right back.